Lori Vallow-Daybell is spending her 47th birthday Friday in an East Idaho jail. The Madison County Women's Detention Center is located in downtown Rexburg. It's connected to the courthouse where she may soon face a judge on felony counts in connection with the disappearance of her children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. The children's remains were found June 9th behind the home of Lori's fifth husband, Chad Daybell. Lori has been in this facility since early March after being arrested in Hawaii, where she had been vacationing with Daybell while her children were missing. According to jail officials, Lori is housed in the general population, where her birthday is expected to come and go like any other day. She can't have in-person visitors or receive packages, but she can use an electronic tablet to speak to people and has access to phones and a television in the jail rec room. Otherwise, her routine will be the same, with access to 3 meals a day and 1 hour of exercise. She is being held on 5 charges, including 2 felony counts of desertion and non-support of children, 1 for each child. She also faces 3 misdemeanor charges, 1 for allegedly lying to police conducting a welfare check for son JJ, 1 count of solicitation for allegedly asking her friend in Arizona to lie about JJ's whereabouts, and a contempt charge for failing to comply with the court's order to produce her children in January. As for Chad Daybell, he was arrested after the children's remains were found on his property. He is being held at Fremont County Jail, a neighboring county, on 2 felony counts of destruction or concealment of evidence. The couple has not posted bond on the $1 million bail set in their respective cases.
Wow. Think about where we are right now. Think about where you are, where I am. I'm in my basement, right, with my family. Got people around me. And as isolated as everyone is, she's like super isolated now. And I wonder what is going on in her mind. Julie Grant, Core TV anchor, joins me tonight. Julie, she's got a tablet, right, where she could call people and talk to people. Who's she going to talk to? I was just thinking about that. Who would Lori Vallow-Daybell even speak to on her birthday?
Yeah, right. And who's really going to want to speak to her after all of these facts, Vinny? Certainly not a bail bondsman. Let's start there. Cult Mom is not getting bail as a birthday present, that's for sure. And who knows what kind of food she ate in jail. And quite frankly, who cares? If I were her, instead of preparing for her big doomsday with her sick husband, I think what she ought to be doing is preparing a criminal defense. Because, Vinny, when these charges come, and I would bet anything I own, homicide charges are coming, she is going to need a viable defense. And the more we think about this case and discuss it, I just don't know if that's going to be possible for these two. The more facts we're learning, the more twisted and perhaps premeditated and planned out all of this was, dating back to when these two lovebirds first started having that affair when Tammy Daybell was still alive. And she's not even in the ground 2 weeks, and the two lovebirds are off gallivanting in Hawaii. So hopefully Cult Mom is maybe making some notes on that tablet, Vinny, maybe making some notes to give to her lawyer as to what kind of a defense he can possibly present if and when those homicide charges come her way.
Think about what happened in her life, right? She's married with kids, with Charles, and then, you know, her and Chad Daybell get together. And think about all the things that had to happen for them to be together, right? They were both married, so they've got to get unmarried. Well, they both became widowed. And then, you know, she's responsible for 2 children, a teenage girl, which is sometimes not easy, and a special needs young boy, which again is not easy. I mean, they're lovable, they're awesome, but you know, every parent knows that children they take time, they take effort, they take love, and they're gone. So all these people had to disappear out of their lives for Chad and Lori to be together, and now they're not even in the same county jail, right? One's in one county, one's in the other county. They don't have any contact, and I don't think she can make a tablet call to another inmate Like, she could
Yeah,
probably
right.
talk to people on the outside, but there's no one there. But I mean, I don't think she's calling up Chad.
No, no, I think you're absolutely right on that one, Vinny. And yes, and I think you really hit the nail on the head in terms of what prosecutors will use thematically in putting this case together. Let's just say, for the sake of our legal analysis here tonight on your show on Court TV Live, that they do find the evidence to charge Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell with homicide. Then they're going to be looking into that relationship and into the children, the fact that those kids were in the way and unwanted, these two beautiful kids with their whole lives ahead of them. And any parent knows the love for a child. I mean, it's just immeasurable love you can't even put into words. And think about how many people can't have children, who want children, who try to adopt children. And here you have Cult Mom with these gorgeous kids. And if I'm a prosecutor, I'm going to say, look, she didn't want them. And from there, that's where this whole twisted, warped plan using religion as the guise went into place. Because he's Mr. Doomsday, he's the big authority figure on the Doomsday cult and belief system and whatever else there is. So when he proclaims someone a zombie, then they've got to go. And the kids are zombies. I mean, quite frankly, all of that is so absurd. And if I'm a prosecutor, I'm going to love this narrative. I'm going to wrap my arms around this narrative and use it to convince this jury that these two were so selfish, demented, and I can't even think of another, maybe deplorable is a good word to call them, that they didn't want anything standing in the way, including their two children, or her kids, biologically, I should say, but the two children that were in their lives, so they'd stop at nothing. And now we see the evidence of these children's remains found, and they've got to tell that story, like we were talking about last night, Vinny. You made a great point in saying they've got to take that story of the remains in the horrible way those remains were found on her husband's property, possibly buried before his wife was dead. It is so much for these prosecutors to take in and tell, and I think they are going to get there. I'm really confident that this is a great investigative team on this case.
So, what do you think they will ask for? Let's say it gets to the point where there are murder charges and they are co-defendants, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell. Do you think they will insist on having the case tried together so they can spend a few more weeks in the same room together with one another? Because usually defendants like to have things severed, right? Most defendants, with co-defendants, no, we want the case severed. We want our trial, you have your trial. I have a feeling these two might want to be tried together if they're ever charged.
Exactly. Yeah, especially if that trial would be set before Doomsday. But we both know the likelihood of that happening is very slim. But yes, I do think so. Because remember, if we harken back, Vinny, I know you'll recall this, they had the same lawyer. They had the same lawyer at the outset. And this was at the point where, Cult Mom is charged, picked up in Hawaii. She's extradited back to Idaho. And there's Mr. Doomsday sitting in the courtroom there with the same lawyer. He's not talking, but he's lawyered up. And at that point, that's what we were all saying, like, he better start giving some information, because at that point, it was just the desertion charges she was facing. Yes, I bet they may be so foolish as to want to have these cases tried together. And if you're on the prosecutor's side, I mean, you go and you have a field day. It makes it all the better for these prosecutors. And so I'm gonna say yes. That's my prediction. I think they are going to want to go ahead and put their doomsday defense together on this one, Vinny.
Now, I believe it's July 22nd is that magical day when everything changes, right? The big reckoning is coming. I don't know if you're on board with me, Julie, but I was going to ask some of the executives at Court TV if we could just stay on till midnight, just to make sure.
I'm with you, my friend. I'm there. Count me in. Yeah.
So, but what do you think the conversation is like on the 23rd? That Lori Vallow is going to have with her attorneys. Do you think anything, honestly, do you think anything changes with Chad or with Lori on the 23rd? Or is that the day where we really realize that this whole thing was kind of like a make-believe reason to get Uncle Alex to do all their dirty work for him?
Yeah, maybe they brainwashed old Uncle Alex. Maybe that's what happened there. I wonder if they're both going to wake up and go, oh, we're still here. The world didn't end. Okay, what do we do now? Figure out our defense. Yeah, exactly.